Listen, man, call me C the way I'm followed by D. Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Gamescage. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about the future of Sonic Frontiers because the director, Kishimoto, has just been going on a rampage on Twitter, giving some pretty big details about things that are going to be included in the DLC or that they want to include. And not just that, but like things that, you know, just fun facts about the game that I thought we'd go around here, just talk about and give a nice look at. All right, so let's get right into it. By the way, if you've been enjoying all the content lately, give of course your boy a sub and support the content and all that stuff, and let's get started right away. So again, a lot of people have been asking stuff. I've opened the most important ones here, and we're gonna go ahead and read these and talk about them because I think there's a lot of these that are pretty big deals. So first of all, right, let's talk about something wild here. So this person says, I think it would be great to make a comeback of Hypersonic, right? Kishimoto then replies, thank you for the feedback. I heard in the past interviews that my phone vibrated, that Hypersonic was sealed, so I think it will be difficult to revive it. However, as you pointed out, I think something equivalent to Hypersonic could provide a more spectacular experience. This alone is a fucking mega deal, bro. Okay, listen, I know Sonic isn't Dragon Ball, right? We don't need a transformation every game, everything, but transformations are hype, and Hypersonic is something that is super dope that people have wanted to see come back for a long time. So even seeing Kishimoto acknowledge the fact that, hey, I'm pretty sure Hypersonic is sealed, but giving a new form could be something wild, that is such a blessing that by itself, that we could get a new form in the future. They're acknowledged of it, and I think that could definitely come through in the future. So very happy about that. Now next up, right here, this is a good one, right? Here we go. So this person right here says, Kishimoto, I have a question. Have you ever considered bringing online or co-op multiplayer modes back into Sonic games? And he says, it's always in sight. However, I believe that it will be difficult to move on to the next step without first completing a third generation Sonic game in single player mode. As you know, the game itself still has a lot of issues, so we can't leave it alone. So obviously, you know, just reconfirming again that besides the big updates we're going to be getting, that the game is clearly going to be updated. I mean, they're saying they can't just leave this game alone. They're acknowledged of a lot of the flaws and they're going to fix it. So again, nothing too big on the info here, but still something really important to know. Now this next one, something I really love. All right, so right here we go. Someone asked about, you know, how they define you know, this gen of Sonic, and he says, I define Sonic Frontiers as a third generation Sonic game, but not all Sonic games will be third generation in the future, and I don't think the first and second generations are inferior to the third. I think both generations are great Sonic games, rest assured. So I feel like this alone is a big deal. I mean, we've all been thinking for a long time now that Sonic Frontiers is gonna be it, you know, that this third generation style is what we're gonna be expecting for a while. But it is really cool that he's saying that, hey, like, not all of these games are gonna be in this open zone style, which I love. You know, that lends itself to, you know, maybe some remakes, you know, like we've talked about with Adventure or other stuff. Like, I think this alone, this acknowledgement, you know, just saying that, hey, don't worry, you're not just gonna be getting open world stuff forever, right? And just saying that, hey, I do still love the second and first gen style, which, you know, would be Adventure, Boost, and this on their own different ways, and acknowledging that and adding to it. So love that. Very happy about that. All right, let's go up to the next fact here. Now next up here, right, this person right here says, I'd like to know if the main series of future Sonic projects will continue to have a more mature and serious atmosphere. The future enemies and bosses will continue to have an impressive and dignified design seen in Sonic Frontiers. Kishimoto says, I'm not the only director who makes a Sonic game, so I think the worldview and atmosphere will change depending on the director. So please look forward to the Sonic games created by various directors. Again, big deal right here, almost confirming that there's either multiple Sonic projects right now being made with different directors involved, right? Or just saying that, you know, in general, like, hey, maybe I'm not gonna be the director on the next game, even though it seems like he is. But this right here is a big deal. You know, I'm not the only director who makes a Sonic game, so I think the worldview and atmosphere will change depending on the director. So again, this isn't confirming some new game or anything, or saying that, you know, they're working on something, but it is cool to see that, hey, like, maybe there's some other people being directors on stuff. You know, maybe Izuka is gonna be a director on whatever 2D game is going on, or I think it makes sense for him to be a director on adventure remakes for me personally. But yeah, still, again, a big factor there. All right, next up, I'm telling y'all, bro, this shit is spicy, bro. This is all the stuff he's just casually answering about on Twitter. Next up, so overall, despite its flaws, I enjoyed this game thoroughly. Could not have asked for a better introduction to modern 3D video gaming. Looking forward to what the DLC will offer. So, thank you for the lever. New to playing Sonic games. I'm happy that you like this game. In order to enjoy the update more, please pause your skills with the main story until it's delivered. So, this one, you know, just reminding you about the DLC. I don't even know why I saved that one. That's not the one I want. I think it's this one. Here it is. I would like to ask you 2 questions. Is there anything you'd like to change or add to the boost gameplay in the future of 3D Sonic games? Also, what's your favorite Frontiers boss? So, big one right here, right? Here we go. When I started working on the game, I thought a lot about whether or not it would be possible and decided to hire boost. I'm still thinking of trying a Sonic game that doesn't use boosts in my next game. My favorite giant bosses are the first and second ones. Obviously, you know, very clear that he loves the first, second ones. You could tell by how cinematic they are. I mean, Knight is pretty cinematic too, so I'm surprised he didn't have that in there, but I get it. His first 2 first babies. But yeah, this is a big deal. I mean, him saying that I'm still thinking of trying a Sonic game that doesn't try boost for the next one. Big deal, man. I mean, this also leans into another thing he was saying that I don't have up here, but he was talking about how, you know, a few weeks ago, how he would like to implement momentum-based platforming and gameplay based on a lot of people's feedback. You know, that seemed like one of the biggest feedback things, that people want momentum as the movement for Sonic. So I'm all in for this, man. If the next game, you know, maybe it doesn't have a boost gauge, instead you really are using the environment, you're using maybe the dash pads on the ground, everything to gain speed, that would be fire. I mean, it would be something that's very different because we do have the boost here and we're used to it, but would be very interested to see how, you know, Sonic's initial speed would be without a boost in there. I mean, we've seen that technically with adventure games and stuff like that, and even Sonic 06, but yeah, very cool just to see that he mentions that. Next up, right, here we go. So this is about the drift, right, and why it's so fucking wonky in that one cyberspace level. During production, we went through trial and error to make a drift a basic action. However, I couldn't make it in a way that I could be satisfied with, so I had no choice but to reject it. The stage that uses cyberspace drift is a remnant of that. So there's sort of the acknowledgement, even him saying like, hey man, like, that drift stage, you can tell, you know, what was the issue. And not just that, but I feel like in general in the open zone, I feel like it's not really designed around drift. You know, I don't really play the open zone, think about many places you could drift. There's cool moments, maybe I feel like it could be implemented, but I don't know, I didn't sit there playing any of the open zone stuff and thinking about a drift, maybe because it wasn't well done. But yeah, so there's your answer about the drift. All right, next up we got, here we go. So this person right here asks, this is a cool one. I think it's hard to keep track of the many opinions we've received, but there's anything specific you'd like to address in your next open zone application? And here we go. Thank you very much for your feedback. It has helped me a lot in the planning of my next project. Regarding the opinions that we are paying particular attention to, we are thinking of working them as soon as possible by secretly prototyping and testing the update without waiting for the next game. Big deal right here. Okay, a lot of the feedback and things that are being said are things that might just be secretly or just shoved into Sonic Frontiers, you know, whether it's going to be in a patch, whether update 1 comes with a lot of these changes. I mean, this is a big deal, right? Like, and this is what I'm saying. I really feel like by the end of this year, what was already a really great game that I really loved and a lot of us really loved is going to really be amazing, because I feel like they are going to address and fix a lot of the issues, and they're going to be implementing a lot of feedback right from the get-go. You know, it doesn't seem like they're just waiting for the sequel and leaving this game, you know, out to die, or just having the big DLC update just focus on that. It seems like they're going to be focusing on the game Sonic Frontiers and upgrading it immensely. So very happy about that. Love to see that. Next up, right, so this is a big thing we got to get over. So first of all, the other day it was found out an unused animation for the Supreme fight, right, where he goes to the laser. This is unused, by the way, because it's not finished. As you could tell, look how sort of scuffed it looks. So I actually talked about this online, so you could tell this animation isn't done. He's sort of just moving around. But yeah, Kishimoto does address it, right? And he says, you found it. I was working on this part way through, but in the final push, I couldn't make it into the shape that I was happy with, so I scrapped it. This is left in the product. It's a testament to our efforts in game production to provide something even better. Again, we've heard in the past that they do want to update, you know, Supreme in the end, so maybe this QT will see the light of day or a different one. But yeah, there's at least the addressing of it. He's seen it and all that stuff. Next up, right, here we go. Update 1 is currently in production. Please await a while to announce the contents. Now again, a while could mean anything. You know, I wouldn't look too much into the word. Again, I'm guessing update 1 is probably gonna drop fairly close to when the date is announced. I'm guessing March. I feel like by this point, you know, it's end of January. We could wait a few more weeks. Maybe we get a trailer for it by end of February, and update 1, you know, comes out, you know, within March. Because remember, update 1 is the photo mode. It's what's called the cyberspace challenges and boss rush mode. And what was the other thing that was in there? There's something else in there. What am I? Oh, the jukebox. So a lot of stuff that I feel like is gonna be done fairly soon. But yeah, we're gonna be excited to see that. But I feel like that's gonna come in March by this point. Next up, right here we go. So we have actually someone I know, Emmy, talking about how, you know, they like, you know, obviously having the CGI in the games and stuff in many ways. So then Kishimoto says, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for translating to Japanese. As you point out, it would have been nice to include a CGI movie in the main story. I'll consider it. So really cool. Again, I feel like a lot of people like when a CGI moment shows up. Now, granted, the games are good looking enough nowadays that you don't really need that, but I will say there is obviously a certain production value to a CGI cutscene, and having him consider the fact that, hey, maybe we might see more of them in the game when a big moment or something happens, I agree that would be fire. You know, I don't mind CGI moments pulling up in the game if it's to enhance the overall experience. And then one of the last ones we got here is the pinball thing. So I should have made the pinball clear score lower in the difficulty setting. Sorry if you're stuck for 2 hours. All fall prevention bumpers should be working. Please be aware. So he's aware that the pinball score is really high up and all that. Now, one more I want to grab right here is about the boost, right? And again, this might be something we see snuck into Sonic Frontiers. So this person says, many fans believe that this would have been an enhanced experience of cyberspace level in Frontiers, or it's hopefully in the next game that has boost stages. If you read this, then thank you very much. So he's talking about how the boost feels, basically. And then Kishimoto says, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for translating. As you pointed out, we think there are issues with Sonic's operability in cyberspace. We will take your comments into consideration. So, wow, insane transparency from Kishimoto about Sonic Frontiers. A lot of cool information. And I think just the biggest takeaway is not only is this so transparent, I want you all just check his Twitter whenever and translate the tweets, because this dude is just revealing stuff left and right. I mean, he's talking about how, you know, there's different projects going on, different directors involved for the future, you know, what updates there's going to be for this game. So keep paying attention to what he's saying, because there's a lot of cool info out there. But yeah, let me know what you think is the biggest piece of info you learned here. For me, I think the biggest one is him just saying that a lot of updates and quality of life stuff is going to be snuck into the game, you know, despite it just being updates and the game being out. I feel like by the end of this year, Sonic Frontiers is going to be a very different game, and I'm very excited to get into the future of it. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what you're most excited for. I love you. Thank you all for watching. You are the best. Peace out.